If you're like us and love active vacations, getting outdoors and immersing yourself in nature, then you gotta put Lofoten, Norway at the top of your bucket list.
Stay tuned for 5 of the most epic hikes in Lofoten, as well as exactly where to stay and some of the best activities to get up to during your visit.
Before we get into our 5 hikes, first, here's where to stay. This is Hatvika Lodge. It's a hotel featuring former fishermen's cottages for its rooms. It's right on the water and it's got beautiful mountain views.
It's centrally located, making it the perfect place to stay to get to all of the hikes we're about to tell you about. In fact, it's the only place we stayed our entire week in Lofoten, and we absolutely loved it.
And what's not to love? We have our own private hot tub on our back porch, the freshest cold plunge you could possibly want, and a seaside sauna with a view. Jumping in off the top, optional.
And what about the food? We had a hot breakfast waiting for us every morning, and by night the restaurant turned into a fine dining experience with the freshest local ingredients.
Meat main course, so it's sausage made from moose, from pasta.
On to our first hike, Mannen, a magical hike from the beach to the mountaintop. It's a short but steep hike with spectacular views, not just at the top, but the entire way. Although the view at the top might be the best.
We should let you know that the trail runs close to the edge of the cliff, so it's not a destination for those with a fear of heights. But when you reach the peak and you're looking down on that turquoise sea, chalk white sand, and the surrounding mountains, you're going to realize it's a pretty incredible hike.
Right around the corner from Hatvika Lodge, there's guided snorkel tours. As soon as we got to Norway, the water looked so refreshing, I wanted to hop right in.
What exactly do you call refreshing? I mean, these are Arctic waters. Thankfully, they had cold suits for us to wear so we could comfortably enjoy the kelp forest.
It was a beautiful and peaceful way to take a load off our feet and recover between our hikes.
Next up is Offersoykammen. And while I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, I am sure it's one of the best hikes in all of Lofoten to be able to see the midnight sun.
That's right, you get 24 hours of sunlight in the summer months in Lofoten. So we started this short but steep hike at about 11 p.m. and we were not disappointed when we got up to the west-facing peak. My God, what views.
When you're ready to take a break from all the steep hiking, head to Eggum Nature Reserve. You'll still be right by the ocean, surrounded by beautiful mountains and a lake. And the sheep.
We came in the early part of the summer, and as you can see, we had the whole place to ourselves. And once again, the water was calling my name, and I could not resist. I had to go for a swim. I just cannot get over how beautiful and tranquil this place is.
Did we mention that Hatvika has professional tour guides? So you can go kayaking right from your accommodation out in the ocean and explore.
The water is just so crystal clear. It's beautiful. And once you work up an appetite, you can head across the bay from Hatvika and try some of the local cuisine. Whale steak. That's really good.
Really?
Yeah, very tender. Hike number 4 is Ryten Trail. This is a bit of a longer hike, and it had just about everything. It had some steep rocky parts, some muddy parts, some wet parts, some flat parts, a beautiful beach, and of course, beautiful mountain views.
It's one of those that just keeps on going. I thought we were close to done, but a new peak just opened up.
You think you get to the top, and then there's more. Ah! The good news is we did make it to the top, and the views were well worth the hike. There are multiple viewpoints at the top, including this spot where you can make it appear as if you're hanging from a cliff edge. But just be careful, because it gets a little scary up there.
There's also a scenic drive that takes you from one end of Lofoten to the other, and it's perfect for a more low-key day. There's several suggested stop points with beautiful views, and you might even run into a moose.
Last but certainly not least is Reinebringen, one of the most popular trails in all of Lofoten.
You're supposed to be going.
You can expect there are going to be crowds, but at the same time, it's one of those hikes you can't miss.
Unlike the wide and wild trails at Ryten, Reinebringen is man-made and quite narrow. It's steep, it requires balance, strength, and stability, and it's one of the most strenuous hikes we did this week.
Almost there.
But when you reach the summit, you're rewarded with breathtaking 360-degree panoramic views that make this hike truly unforgettable.
This is like one of the best places ever.
Seriously. Oh, and before we wrap up, this sign is not lying. Do yourself a favor and get a cinnamon roll.
What happened to the rest of it?
You ate it? I only got that tiny little bit, but it was really good.